Testing, testing, okay. Hello everybody, how you guys doing? My name is Anthony Moze. I am from the Boston area. I graduated from Central Connecticut State University in 2017. I've worked in technical sales under business development and also pre-sales as a sales engineer. And I've been employed at companies such as Smart Bear, Reveneer, a priori, and most recently Dell Technologies. Super happy to be here, very excited. I love doing this kind of work, volunteering and helping out those who are new into their careers, because I was also there about a few years back trying to navigate the tech world. So thank you again.
Woo.
Nice.
Exciting, last one. Okay, what was your favorite class in college? And a very brief explanation why.
He would throw out random things like Britney Spears or a private jet, and he would relate everything back to economics. And that always struck me well.
And that sounds very economical of him, because he's like, what can I give you to give me back? That's cool. A little social economic exchange going on. So by schooling, I'm a master's and bachelor's in psychology, so that was what I did prior to getting into tech. And then it was only recently that I went to a software boot camp, so that's how I got, of course, into tech further, and of course I'm in the tech sales part. But I would say the classes that I loved, or at least the class that I have a toss-up with, is between learning and memory and cognitive psychology, because it's super interesting to see how the brain, like the human brain, works. Of course, that's very useful when, in my role, and I would assume a lot of other people's roles as well.
Definitely words to punch you in the right direction. There was actually one professor that led me to this donor appreciation.
No. Can you just repeat the question? Because I was like.
No, you're good. So we know you have to manage kind of different relationships when you're in college, your professors, etc. What types of relationships do you have to manage when you're working full time with in a corporate environment, with maybe like your manager or your cross-functional team, or something like that?
Yeah. So I can answer the question on what kind of relationships to manage and like how to manage them. So in terms of when you're in the workplace, it's just good to know your six. What that really means is something that I was actually taught at McKinsey & Company, is you always will be willing to put you first when opportunities arise.
There's a mantra that I've kept. I was an in-home therapist with children and adolescents, and then I've also worked with adults. I like what you said, that was a quote. There's another one that's like, people don't care about how much you know until you show how much you care. And I've kept that mantra even working in tech. When I'm gonna be working with people, I work with, once you get in tech, you're gonna start understanding, or at least when you get in corporate, you'll start understanding that there's a whole new level of jargon you gotta start understanding. So there's this thing called stakeholders. There's internal stakeholders. My job works with marketing, sales, pre-sales, post-sales, and then even software developers. External stakeholders are actually the customers. That could be technical people versus non-technical people. But what I always like to do, especially with my internal team, is I like to establish that synergy so that when we do face with the customer, we do look like we're like just bonded together. Kind of reminds me when I used to make music. If I made music with somebody overseas, like via email, we got less listens, less people tuning in. It was the moment when I went into the music studio that we connected, we bonded together, that somehow, some way, magically, we just got more listens on our music. So what I do is I like to have coffees, virtual coffees, one-on-ones. Try to go to these parties that they have, whether it's Zoom parties or even going into the office. When you talk to these people that you're going to be working with, they're not robots, they're not software applications, they're humans. So you have to ask them the question, understand them, like, what do they like? What do they hate? What do they do for fun? What excites them, all that stuff. That's really good, because then you get to know their quirks, their quacks, their idiosyncrasies, and it helps you to work more effectively with them. You get to understand them, so that when it does come into a situation, like one time I had a sales rep who was not necessarily liked around the whole company because the way he presented, but since the fact that I established rapport with him, he respected me, and I was able to go sit in a room with him and be like, hey man, look, this is what's going on in these meetings. I just want to let you know this is what's going on, and it's not making the meetings run smoothly. And he was like, whoa, I didn't even know that, and really thank you so much for telling me this stuff. That wouldn't have happened with someone else he didn't establish a rapport with. Rapport is everything. And again, like that whole quote, people don't care how much you know until you show how much you care.
I love this. Yes. So we're going to move to like, well, I'll call out the person. Okay, maybe help us understand what it's like working in your type of role. And I think I'm going to give Bruna this question and ask this question since you're an entrepreneur.
I work as a software engineer at Dell Technologies in a 3-year rotation program where I get the opportunity to work with 3 different teams of my choice for each year. And this year I am on my first year rotation program where I use AI and ML to simplify developers' life and enhance system performance. For the first few months, we're dedicated to understand the problem statement clearly and correctly, and subsequently, I spent my time to understand and use the machine learning algorithms appropriately and improve the performance of the work that I have been doing to get remarkable results. And now I have been working on deploying my work into production so that the developers can use it in real time and use my tool in real time.
Yeah, so I mean, I love looking at people's LinkedIns. I love researching what's their trajectory, how they started. They started maybe as an intern, they were maybe a business development rep, and then they became maybe directors of IT. They became vice presidents of software engineering, or VP or CRO, chief revenue officer, which is the sales arm. I like what people in middle to upper management are doing. They're making decisions that are impacting the company as a whole. And the first thing that I think of is the initiatives for diversity, equity, and inclusion, because we need more people like us to be making those big decisions, because companies are still, are not necessarily fully there. And I want to be part of that movement. I want to be part, I want to be that level where I can make large level decisions. My values super highly, my input is super valued. This is the aspirations, is to be, of course, VP of sales, chief revenue officer, maybe even CEO. Maybe I might want to have my own company. But nevertheless, it would be within an organization, it would be within those kind of roles, like middle, upper management.
Is the growth that you're looking forward to?
I know for me, when I was kind of like in transition mode, when I was getting ready to graduate and seek out different opportunities, you can get lost in trying to figure out what you like, but a lot of times figuring out what you like is a matter of you understanding what you don't like first.
Yeah.
And so the more you narrow down what you don't like, you will actually see how the pot gets smaller for you to make some decisions as to what you truly want to do.
Love it. One word, one piece of advice: network. Basically, network, but what does that mean, right? Relationship building. As much as advanced we've gotten with software and technology, the human connections are stronger than ever. We're in need of that. We need that more than ever. So connect with people as much as you can. I was volunteering. That's how I got a lot of my opportunities to work at jobs. A lot of people like to go towards the typical path. I like to go through the back door. Yep. That's how I get my opportunities personally. But relationships are bigger than anything. So really, try to go to networking events. Meetup.com has worked. That has been also a gateway into getting job opportunities and every other great thing that you may want to endeavor or look for. So again, your network. I mean, they say your network is your net worth, but I mean, it's everything else as well, all encompassing that.
Shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. You'll get it, I promise.
Woo!
I would just say yes. Say yes to opportunity. Say yes.
Nice job, man.
Thanks.
That was good.
Hey, you got to volunteer the way to success. That's how I got it. That's
Right?
how I got it.
Oh, thank you. Ooh, some swag. Nice.
So listen, adulting, right? How was that? No?